one. Let's hope this works. When you first turn on your projector, it warms up, and it should come up to a blue screen that you're not going to be able to see real well because of this camera, because it's blue, and it doesn't like blue. But what you want to do is you want to make sure the network settings are correct. So you want to, on the remote, hit the LAN button. Can you see that? LAN button. And when you hit the LAN button, it comes up to this screen here. Give it just a second. It's in the PC free annotation mode. And it will show you that it has got an IP address of 192.168, which is bad because that's the default from the factory. I reset it to this way so you could see it, but the projector name is what I named it here at the DO. So pretend that's not there for you. But when it has that, you don't want it to be what?
Totally blurred.
You can't see this because my face is here.
You're blurred now. Why is it getting blurry?
Turn something off.
It just went fine. Now do it.
So now
That's very clear. Yeah.
Can you see that now? See where it says 192?
Yep.
Look at that. Okay. Ann was doing this. I didn't know what that meant. Sorry. So, in order to get rid of that, you want to make sure of one thing. You want to make sure that it's connected to the LAN. So you hit the menu button on the screen, or on the remote, and when you hit the menu, it comes up to this, and hopefully you can see this. Come down to network, hit the enter button so you get over on this side, come down to network configuration, hit the enter button, and now you're in the network configuration. The thing you want to worry about is wired LAN. So you come down to wired LAN, hit the return, it's in the center here. Come down to IP settings, which is the first one, hit the return button, you go in, and you notice that it says DHCP off. We want to turn it on so that we can verify that we have network connectivity. So you just hit the return, it comes up and it says off or on. You use the arrow keys to go up to on, hit the arrow up to go to return, hit the return, again, arrow up to return, arrow up to return, and then come down to where it says complete, hit the return button in the middle. Do you want to save these network settings? You say yes. Once you say yes, it's going to reset the network controller on there. Hit menu again, and you're back to your screen. Now this time, instead of saying 192, it says 10.133. That's the building that we're in. So if you left it this way, this is the IP address that they would connect to. That's not how you're going to do it in your building. You have just verified that the network connection, they can't see that, can they?
You're pointing up to the projector.
Yes.
Yes.
Can they see the projector?
No, they cannot.
Oh.
But Sean is pointing up to a projector.
There's a projector up there. Hi, projector.
Yes. Hi, Sean.
The network cable is configured because you have this address. So what you want to do is you want to go back exactly the way you just did. Menu, down to network configuration, down to wired LAN, IP address, turn DHCP off, this is key here, turn DHCP off, come up to return, and come down to IP address. And this is where you're going to type in the number that you're going to use. And what you want to do is not do it this way. Because if you do it this way, you're going to have to go through and hit the building number and then tab over. It's going to be really hard to do. Simple. Make it a whole lot easier to do. Do it via the browser. So, cancel out of that. By hitting the escape button, and you just hit escape button until you get back to the menu.
So does that, everybody clear on that? DHCP stays on.
Just for this part.
Right. Actually,
we could have said no there and it would have worked fine. Okay. So let's say obtaining, now we get the network. So now what we do is we switch, and let's hope this works. Okay, so what we do is we open up our favorite browser. I happen to be using Safari. And we type in that IP address that's displayed up on the projector. And you do not need to put the leading zeros. So for instance, the projector that we showed you just a second ago said 010.133.020.084. We do not need those leading zeros. So I can just type in 10.133.20.84 and it will come up to this screen. This screen is important because it's the default page for your password. And the password that you need to know is tricky. So right there where it says name, you want to put in Epson Web. Notice it's all capitals. And the password is all lowercase ADMIN. So admin, all lowercase. Hit log in, and now we're presented with the control for it. I even have a web remote so I could do all kinds of funky stuff with it. But what we want to do is we want to come down to wired LAN, click on the wired LAN, and we want to set our IP address. Oops. That's info. We don't want info. We want settings. Sorry. Settings. Oh, no, we don't want settings. We want network wired LAN. Man, I'll get it straight one of these times. And you'll see that it has DHCP on. It mirrors what we had up on the screen, but we don't have to use that wonderful remote. We just turn DHCP off here. We set it how we want it. So it would be 10 dot your building number dot 3, because that's what projectors are, and then dot a room number. So in this instance, the XXX would be your building number. I don't know, Willowfield is 201 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so that's where that would go. So for this building, it's 133, because that's where I am.
Yeah.
And the Y is the room number that I'm in. And I happen to be in room 9. So it would be 10.133, because here at the DO, 3 means it's a projector, and 9 means that I'm in room 9. Now the subnet mask, you want to set to 255. I think we set it to 0. Yeah, 0.0. Where it says gateway address, it's 10.building.10.11. And where it says IP address display, you want to leave that on. Now, in order to make these changes go into it, you have to hit the set button. I'm just going to copy that number down. So you have to hit the set button. Now you think it's set. It's set, but it has to come down here at the very bottom where it says apply. To apply these changes, hold down the settings button of each item and then press apply. So I did the set, and now I'm going to click apply. And when I do that, I should now be prompted again for my password, because now I'm connecting to the projector that's actually with its actual IP address. So again, we put in Epson Web in capitals and admin for the password in lowercase. And we're back to where we were, and just to show you where it says wired LAN, I can click on the info button and it shows you that I have that my address is right. I set the subnet mask correctly. We're all good. You can also, under settings, eco, you want to set where it says power consumption, or no, standby mode. You want to set communication on. This, by default, it will be communication off. You want to make sure it's communication off. Again, what did I say?
Off.
Sorry.
Communication on.
Communication on. Make sure it's set this way. Communication on. You hit the set button, and then when you hit the set button, the apply button will come down. I didn't change anything. Okay? You can change the projector name here in the network connection as well. I think it's under basic. Yep, basic is where you can change the projector name. And you notice that it says room 7. This is really room 9. I just like the 007 thing there. This is that admin password that's there. You'll notice that you can't change the name, Epson Web. So just to keep it simple, we're going to keep that password as admin so that we know we don't have to go around which one is changed and stuff like that. So don't change this password. Change the name, the projector name, and then hit the set button and come down to the apply. The last thing you want to do on this screen is come down to mail and set them this way. Make sure that mail notification is on. Again, hit the set. Change the SMTP server to that, which is 170.158.1.321. Hit set. Port number is 25. It should automatically fill in, but if not, do it. Hit set. Email address is me. Hit set. If you want to be also reminded, put your email address in there as a second. And then where it says no signal, turn those off. We don't need those. System error, lamp error, high temp, replace light, all the other ones, make sure they're all checked. You don't need 3 if you don't have someone in email address 3. And if you didn't put your email address in 2, you don't need to worry about that. Once you have them all, you hit apply. And now, if this projector has any errors, it will email me so I can get a work order started right away before it actually becomes a problem. Okay? Moving on to the next section. Okay, so now that we have the network configured, it's coming up. I can use this IP address to do the EasyMP network projection, so I can use my computer wirelessly, and it will project to the computer that's wired in with this network address. But before I do that, because these are touch screens, we just want to make sure that you've used the remote one time. They should have done it when they set them up this summer, but who knows what happened with, cleaning and all that stuff. So what you want to do is you want to hit the user button on here. You see that? Hit the user button, and when you hit the user button, it says adjust the focus so that the characters display clearly. So it should be automatically. If it doesn't do it, you can adjust the focus. Let me know. We'll get it done. Sorry. Automatically, it's set to yes at the bottom. It says calibrations will start when you complete. You hit the yes, which is the return button in the middle of the remote. Hit yes, and then it says move away. So you want to move away from the screen. Make sure that nothing is on the screen. Nothing is over on the left or over on the right that's going to interfere, like, I don't know, a calendar or something that the teacher has up. Move all that stuff away. It goes through, does some calibration. Wait until it's done before you approach. Make sure it's all set. Once it's back up, it'll come up to this screen. This is the touch interactive screen by default. This is how it opens up by default. Can they see this over here?
You gotta walk out there and get it to. There we go. Now you got it.
Okay. So when you touch it, or when it first does it, you can see over here there's a toolbar, and it's actually on both sides. These little arrows that pulls up a toolbar, which brings up a whiteboard. So you can set it to white, or you can set it to display over the top of whatever image is connected to it. So let's say I had my Chromebook image being produced or being displayed over it, or I had my iPad image being displayed over it, or my document camera. I could use this interactive to go on top of it, PC free it's called, or I can display the whiteboard. I have these pens here that I can do, but what's really important for you to understand is not this, not that control for the PC animation, but the fact that we also have this down here. These are the volume controls, zoom if we had something on the image, but we also have the power button.
Walk in front of it again, so it's all blurry again. There you go. Let's get
The power button. So we hit the power button and it says yes or no. And it's my finger that's doing it. I don't have to use any pen. You can use the pen.
It's really blurry, Sean.
To do it. Sorry about the blurriness.
Yeah.
And I don't have any pens here. So look at that. I don't even have pens. This is what's cool. Red on this side, and now I should be able to.
That's coming through beautifully.
Of course, it didn't do it.
Yeah. Now you can see the control panel.
Oh, so now you can see the control panel. Power, which is off on. This is the change, so I could change my source. So I could jump into any source that I wanted to. If I had another source connected, like I had it on computer one or the HDMI for the Chromebook or whatever, I could switch sources, or to the USB, which is the document camera. I can also pause it if it's a USB device that has a play and record button, and then I can control the sound. And you see it going up and down. If I don't want that to be on my screen because it's distracting, I hit the down and it goes away, and it will come up back up if I push this. I have toolbars on either side, so when I push one, it goes away from the other side. To get it to go away, I hit that and it goes away, and it's on either side. Again, this is the interactive whiteboard. I can go back to PC free annotation and go on top of any image that's up on there. Okay? Okay?
I think we're good.
Control Shift. Okay, now what we have here is I have Easy MP Network Projection up and running. So I've connected into my projector, and I went into my Easy Interactive Tools version 3. I am not physically connected to anything on my computer. So I'm on my laptop, just like a teacher would have. So they have an applications folder. They have the Easy Interactive Tools version 3 and the Easy MP Network Projection. I have both of them running. With both of them running, I know you're going to have to just trust me on this because it's a trust issue here. I go to my website, and using the tools, I can tap on the toolbox, tap on the keyboard, and I now have a keyboard up here where I can type and it will go through. And my phone is ringing, so you're hearing that, and Nan needs to pick it up so that we don't have anything. Okay, hit the thing that says voicemail. So there's the keyboard where I can type in my triple E virus. I don't have enough viruses now.
I'm feeling lucky.
I'm doing this all with my finger touching the board, and I have this wonderful virtual keyboard. And if you think I'm doing that with my mouse and having that much trouble, you know I'm using my finger. I still have my toolbar over here. I can move it wherever I want to, and I can even hide it so that that's not there. Only the virtual keyboard is available to me where I need it. Okay? hopefully that helps, and you can